As Columbia was experiencing 15 inches of snow a few months back, a team of Boone County volunteers was dealing with a typhoon on the other side of the world.
That's right. In tonight's Sarah story, KOMU Sarah Hill takes us to Da Nang, Vietnam, where putting mercy in motion can sometimes be a matter of life and death.
Typhoon that went through the Philippines looks like it could head our direction.
We are now arrived at Da Nang. It is now 7:10 a.m.
On the streets of Vietnam at about 3 miles per hour, about the pace of a brisk walk, the pet is a patient pace. But one these people have waited for their entire lives. But for every story about an amputee who no longer uses stools to walk, or a 9-year-old boy who might now be able to go to school, there's another story about the people who set mercy in motion.
Sealed bearing.
Steve Bima is a Boone County cattle farmer
Spare parts and so forth will just go with you.
who traveled to Vietnam as part of a team that distributed pets to those with good upper body strength and traditional wheelchairs to those without. Bima is the volunteer director of Pet International, the umbrella organization for the 14 different pet workshops around the world, including the first one that started in Colombia.
Very difficult to describe in detail what it is that we do, but I carry this card and it pretty much tells the story.
A story he shared with his cousin V from Ashland.
That just blew me away, and I'm real proud to be part of the team.
A team that includes Lynn from Wisconsin.
Even in mom and dad's, you know, the eyes in the mom and dad, you know, it's like this is hope.
Iowa, Minnesota,
Leather on his stumps.
England,
Come on, little blocks of wood.
and Canada.
It just broke my heart.
It's very humbling to see somebody, you know, that has had to carry their children for years.
There are more than 20 members on this distribution team. Over the last 4 days, many of them haven't gotten more than a couple hours of sleep. It took the Missouri team 65 hours just to get to Vietnam. There's a typhoon looming right now bearing down on Da Nang, yet canceling this distribution isn't an option.
The typhoon is coming into this area. It's just offshore, and that's going to bring a tremendous amount of rain and possibly a lot of wind, and we're outside.
Here comes the rain.
What this team didn't know was that a deadly typhoon was headed its way. Typhoon Durian killed 100 people in Vietnam, mostly in coastal villages.
We are here. There's a group of people expecting mobility in one way or another. We will provide that.
The group set up tarps and watched as people needing mobility came crawling, carried in the pouring rain. But many of these volunteers have faced something far more difficult than the weather.
My job was to call in rounds on the enemy. A series of experiences that I had in Vietnam that I wanted to, in some ways, make atonement for.
Tim Diefenbacher has been coming back to Vietnam for 11 years, helping fit Vietnamese children with wheelchairs and landmine victims with pets, some of them former Viet Cong soldiers.
But I don't bear him any grudge, but I think we can all take a look at the fact that war is hell.
And it's not just war.
We all have our personal baggage to carry.
Or the weather. Communication is also a little hazy.
Tell the mother. Can you tell her?
Communication difficulty in the translation process.
So it's difficult to ask a mother about a child's pain. So when a translator's not available, a pat on the back, a squeeze of the hand.
Is this his first wheelchair?
But for volunteer Lynn Ross, her situation requires no translation. They know she understands.
Well, I think because of my disability and being a wheelchair user, it also shows those individuals what they can do. think seeing someone who is a chair user that is there serving them also gives them that dignity, being able to look right directly into their eyes and be able to tell them that they have value, that they are somebody.
The reward that you receive when you see those faces never gets old.
From the hands of those who build them, box them, pair them, and share them.
Tell the story.
It takes many hands to set mercy in motion, and many more to keep lifting lives.
I realize that you give somebody a life is the most wonderful experience you can have, really. And that's what I feel whenever I see someone ride off with one. There goes another life.
That was KOMU's Sarah Hill and videographer Scott Schaefer. We'll have more on the dangers pet volunteers face in a special broadcast on March 8th at 6:30. We hope you join us.